So we're here with Ben Vereen.
Hey.
What an honor. What a big honor here. Actually,
Wow, this is
I
great.
got to interview Ben initially over at Sesame Street. I remember at the 40th anniversary party,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
Over there
That's
in
right.
Cipriani's. And
Yeah.
you were...
Big Bird.
Big Bird. We had all the...
Hey, boys and girls. Whoa, you having a good time.
And so it was that was good. And I remember when I said, you know, Paul, and with Good News broadcast.
Yeah.
And you said, good news, and you just like,
Man,
you just took off.
This is so important. You know, you hear so much doom and gloom, not only from the newspaper, but also from, certain factors in society that deal with people's higher consciousness in a spiritual fact. You know, there's this doom and gloom factor. And it's so nice when somebody says, yo, what you think manifests, what you think becomes a reality. So if you think negative, you attract negative into your life. But if you think that which is good, you know, as Paul the Apostle says, those things which are good, those things which are favorable, those things which are loving, I'm paraphrasing, but think on those things, and those things will be drawn into your life. So we had more of you out there doing the news than we would have a society might want of people who were lifted up to a place of bringing the good into their lives. And that's my sermon for the day.
I love it.
Tune in tomorrow.
And he's entitled to do the sermon because he's actually an ordained minister
Yes,
as well,
I am.
and so am I.
Yeah.
And so
we're about the good news. That's what we're about.
You know, we stay non-sectarian. Everybody can do
That's
their
right.
thing.
That's
you
right.
You know, it's all
just
blessed.
believe in a higher power. Call it what you want. God,
Right.
Allah, Buddha, Jesus, Elohim, Yahweh, refrigerator. If it's your higher power, you know, some people is. But you know,
you're not looking at me, are you?
No.
All right.
But you know what I'm saying. Whatever makes you feel good, believe on that, and go, because there are many trails up to the top of the mountain, but there's only one mountaintop. Let's all get there.
Everyone I've worked with has
That
been
was
good.
very good. I like
Yeah,
that.
you're
That
great,
was
man. You're
good.
great. What an honor here. You learn from the good what's good.
That's right.
And you learn from the bad what not
to do.
Quote Mr. Ben Vereen.
That's right. That's right.
So that's the thought.
It is. It is
So
a very
you-
good thought.
An illustrious career. Actually, you know, I looked a little background on you. You
Okay.
know, you were just born a couple of days ago, but the point is that
True.
you have a big resume for such a short amount of
I
time
came to the planet
on
with it.
planet Earth. But one place said you were born in Brooklyn.
Well, I was
And then
born
one
here.
part said you were born in
know.
the Carolinas.
I know. You know. That's because I'm omnipresent.
So I got
Everybody
confused.
claims me.
So you grew up here in okay, you are in Brooklyn. You're in Brooklyn right now.
Bedford Stuyvesant.
Right up the street.
Right down the block. Matter of fact, I was looking at the clock tower, and I was telling someone that when I was a child, my mother said, whenever you get lost, look for that tower. That was our home. That was a marker for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So these streets are very, very special to me. This building, and you across the street was the first rock and roll show I saw when it was the Fox Theater.
Right down here,
Right
yes.
down here, down the street. I saw, Chubby Checker and all those cats used to come down here and check out the rock and roll shows right down in these neighborhoods right here.
Well, was it those types of shows? What interested you in show business?
Well, my mother, get out there, you're going to do this. You're gonna do this.
Get to work.
But I don't want, get out of here, you're going to do this. But it called me, and it called me in various forms. It called me through the church, it called me through the theater. It's been calling me. And I just try to show up to be an open channel to the creativity that flows. And how it shows up is through my work that I do. And as Kahlil Gibran said, if I'm not allowed to let my light so shine, then my life is not worth living. So I let my light shine within the window so others can see their way. And I hope that's what I do.
The prophet?
I do. Yeah, the prophet. I hope that's what I do. And it's been very good to me. It's been very good to me. I'm sitting here talking to you and to all these billions of people that your audience.
Well, the fact of the world is the most of the world is good.
Yes,
And
it is good.
And
Because you know
that
why?
is the fact.
Even in the book called the Bible, which most people still has dust on it, but in the book of the Bible, and when it says in the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth, and he always says, and it was good, and it was good, and it is good, and that was good. We are created in a consciousness of the good.
And if when you start to even evaluate the picture, we'll just take a moment or two in that thought. And I know you go around to schools. You're a great speaker about adversities in life. But the fact of the matter, if you would even add up all the people that are actually fighting right now and or punching somebody or not doing a nice thing, it's a very, very small number. You know, the 6.5 billion people, and 1% is what? Is 65 million. I mean,
But we got to switch the paradigm.
The paradigm
because
is,
we do not.
It's not that. That's,
we do not show that.
I know.
We got to show the good part.
It's
the thing of
inaccurate.
what people are doing that is making life wonderful. You know, because it's not fashionable. You know, it's not fashionable to say, you know, someone is doing something fantastic for their neighbor. Something wonderful happened in the world today. A miracle happened. You know, somebody who was very ill was healed today. You know, that's not good news. You know, the fact that this person had cancer and all of a sudden went into submission and they're living a good life, that's not news. But if a kid, you know, happens to hit somebody in the head and robs a store, that's news. Or somebody gets killed, that's news. You know, a car wreck, that's news. But what about all those good things that are happening in life? Some kid, he studies all of his life and he wins a spelling bee. It goes on a back page about that big. But if that same kid goes and robs the store, front page, big picture.
Yeah, so it's all out of whack.
So we got to turn things around so that kid who maybe have that thought in their mind about doing that will look at the front page and they'll see this kid on the front page for reading and winning a spelling bee and they'll go, wow, I can do that too. So they won't think about robbing the store. They'll think about getting a good grade.
You know, Ben, let me just refresh my
Okay, I'm
audience
sorry.
about who
We're
you
going
are.
long.
No. I just know.
We're talking about the good news here.
I love to talk about it. It's because we're passionate about it.
Yes,
We're
we are.
spending 24/7 working on good news and trying to interview everybody in the world so we can prove the fact that everybody in the world is good. So, seeing is believing. Right? So, but just a refresher course of Ben's wonderful career. I mean, just a little tidbit, I guess, sort of an understudy or ish with Sammy Davis Jr. in Golden Boy, and then you were in Hair, right?
I was in Hair. Was one of the first productions.
Jesus
of
Christ
Hair.
Superstar.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
And then a big role in Pippin, right?
That's right.
Couple
Pippin,
Tony
Fosse.
drama
That's right,
awards
that's
and
right.
so on and so forth. And educated in the school here.
Enough talk about me.
All right, but
Let's talk about you. What did you think of my last movie?
the movie with what, Vanessa Williams or
Vanessa Williams. Yes,
okay.
yes.
You're a busy dude. So
Yeah.
and that's the good news. But the fact is that you also spend a lot of time with charitable outreach. You spend a lot of time representing concern about diabetes in the world.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Talk about that a little
Well,
bit.
yeah, I was diagnosed with diabetes in 2007. That was my Christmas gift. And the interesting thing I've found is that people, when they talk about, people don't, first of all, talk about diabetes. They whisper it. You know, when I was growing up, we'd say, you know, somebody, see Aunt Jane hitting her head up beside the wall, and you say, what's happened with her? And it's, she just has a little sugar in her blood. They never called it diabetes what it was, you know, but because we don't use it as part of our vocabulary. And so the horror stories are all you hear. You only hear the good news. And that's why I'm here, to talk about the good news. And we're starting a movement called STAN, you know, start taking actions now for your diabetes. And we have a website called standfordiabetes.org where we're asking people to please take a pledge. Those of us living with diabetes, take a pledge for better care and to talk about your diabetes. We're like the Who. And Horton, here's a Who. We're the Who's. You know, we're here to make a great noise, let the world know that we're here and that we can heal this seeming health issue that we're having if we take care of this beautiful temple that, you know, we've been given. And, you know, for me in 07 when I was diagnosed, you know, the first thing, you go into denial. You know, the doctor says you have diabetes. You go, I'm sorry, you have diabetes. He's talking to you. I know he's not talking to me because because you're like, it can't be happening to me because I'm sing, I dance, I exercise. I watch my diet. I thought I was watching my diet and when I ate, but over 2 years prior to that, I was very lethargic. I started eating, craving a lot of sugars. I get up in the middle of the night and go get boxes of sugar. I eat it before morning. I wouldn't exercise, and I was going to the bathroom. I didn't know the symptoms. I didn't know where the red flags were flying up all over the place because we're not taught about how to live on planet Earth. We're taught how to make a living on planet Earth. And so if we were taught the other way, then we would be told, watch out for this. And if this happens, do this. Well, this was my wake-up call. And for me, I look at it as a blessing because what it was saying to me is, I've given you this fantastic gift called life. And your charge is, as I said in the beginning, is to look after my garden. Ye are the garden. So obviously I have been doing what I needed to do for myself. So right away I talked to my doctor. He put me on a regimen. They put me on insulin right away because it was that high. And now the next thing was, what do I eat? When I was told, what do I eat? And you go through this whole thing and we go to extremes. Oh, God, I got to cut out the sugar. Oh, no, if I eat sugar, I'm going to die. I'm going to melt. I can't eat sugar. And everything has sugar in it. When you go start reading the labels, everything has sugar in it. And so, but everything in moderation, I found out. And so, this is about working with your physician, working and talking about diabetes. We've got to change the dialogue, first of all, about diabetes, I feel. We've got to stop saying that person has a challenge with diabetes. No, that person has an opportunity to have a good and a better life, an opportunity towards the possibilities of a good life. You're not suffering. I don't suffer with diabetes. I'm living with diabetes. There's a difference.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
I think it goes right back to the positive mindset.
Exactly.
You're not a hurting puppy.
No.
You're a puppy who still can lick and be kind to people.
And I'm not saying I'm not discrediting all the horror stories. Yes, those things do happen. Yes, amputations do happen. Yes, liver problems do happen. Yes, heart problems. But why? Because you have bought into the challenge instead of the opportunity.
Okay, and let's be frank in the sense of the wonderful pharmaceutical companies that are doing research into massive amounts of time, money, and energy, who are coming up with discoveries almost on a daily basis with trials, with a lot of wonderful people who go and be in a trial to see whether this is going to work or that's going to work. It's all good news all around it. There's a tremendous amount of good news about diabetes.
Yeah, we got to show up for the good news, though. When I found out, you talking about the pharmaceutical companies, I went to Sanofi Aventis, and I said, this is the situation, and I want to get the word out there. And they were kind enough to say, we'll help you. Because they're about finding solutions and talking with people. This isn't about a pharmaceutical company. It's about, let's fill them up with drugs. Let's hit them with drugs. No, let's talk. Let's have a dialogue. Let's find a way to get the information out there. Let's find a way that we can all work to, if you listen to President Barack Obama in his campaign, he said the fact that the first thing we've got to do with healthcare is do something about diabetes in America. He's conscious of it. So we've got to become conscious of it. We have 24 million people living with diabetes in America. In America alone. That's over 280,000 worldwide, okay? Million, not 1,000, million, 280 million people living with diabetes. And in America, that's 24 million. And we have 6 million who are walking around with diabetes that don't even know it. Yeah. And every 21 seconds, someone else is diagnosed with diabetes. So I think we got a bit of a little epidemic going on here. And especially with the young people today. We're finding that, a lot of our young people are coming up with type 2 diabetes. And we've got to address this. We've got to begin to we've got to take a stand for your diabetes.
Sounds good to me. Well, we're here to help you make a stand.
Thank you.
Build out a channel or get the words and get the positive thinking and what the people are doing to improve people's lives in this regard in diabetes. What else are you working on? Are you still doing that show with Sammy Davis?
The Vereen sings the music with Sammy Davis. Yes, I'm still out there with that, but it's sort of like moving into this new show that I'm writing, which we're looking to bring to Broadway. It's a musical. Go figure.
How come?
It's called From Brooklyn to Broadway. From B to B. It's about it's all about me. And we're going to take you on a journey, but we're also going to tell the story, and it's going to end on a positive note. And right now I'm getting ready to do a play based on the lives of Muhammad Ali and Step and Fetch It. It's called Fetch Clay, Catch Man, and it's going to be directed by Des McAnuff, and it's going to be in Princeton at the McCarter Theater. It's about the year 1965 when Muhammad Ali called Step and Fetch It to his camp to teach him the punch that knocked out Sonny Liston.
Where do you get your energy?
I woke up this morning, and it's another blessed day. It's another day at the miracle.
And how come you don't have the energy to just like hang out and just like
Yeah,
you
no,
know
what?
hit the beach?
I'm just boring all the time. I was in the beach. I just came from Hawaii.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Yeah, I spent like
With an orchestra or something?
Yeah, with the orchestra there, and I spent 3 days diving.
Okay.
Ooh, I love to dive. I love being under the water. Can't swim, but I love to dive.
So a little bit of mix of it all is healthy as well?
Yes, it's all about the health. It's all
Okay.
about taking care of yourself.
That's good. Beautiful.
That's our charge.
There it
You know,
is.
It says, God placed man in the garden and said, take care of my garden. Ye are the garden. The garden is not outside of you. It's within you.
I think that's the quote I had here. All right, Ben. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
And
it.
thank you. I was 17. It was a very good year. It was a very good year for small town girls and soft summer nights. We would hide from the light on the village green.